The finals has a new meta, and I'm here to introduce it. They've recently added hover pads, a crossbow, and shockwaves, and I'm super excited because it kind of changed the total dynamic of finals without changing the game completely. You can still play the finals and not hate what's new, and that's what's so exciting about what came out. And I'm here to defend the hover pad. I'll explain here in a second, but let's get right into it. Okay, first off, here's an example of using the hover pad to prevent people from using the bounce pad. As you see, I run and I cannot bounce all the way in the air. Now that can be super useful, but something else to use for like traversal is this new shockwave. It can push people around, it can push you around, and as I'm demonstrating here, it's only a different distance if you hold it. Yes, you can charge it. You can press it automatically and it'll shoot, but if you charge it, it'll shoot you just a little bit further. The shockwave will also send you in the air, and now I wanted to test if it would be differently if you charged it, and it turns out, as demonstrated here, it really doesn't change. If anything, it's only a little bit of a distance, but not worth charging the jump. And moving right back to the hover pad, I wanted to test out what it would be like on a zip line. So I went ahead and put a bounce pad on top of the hover pad, and as you can see, if you put it in a certain location, according to the zip line, it will bounce someone off the zip line. Super useful. Also, you notice if you use the shockwave off a bounce pad, it sends you flying even more. But if you're standing still like earlier, it won't send you further. For laughs and giggles, I include a little clip of me messing up and turning the bounce pad sideways. Okay, next was something that I kept trying, and it's not consistent, but if you do it like so, sometimes the hover pad will knock people off a zip line. Like I said, it's not consistent, but if you put it in the position it is now, it may work. So this isn't something new, but it gives you a little extra height using the bounce pad on the goo method. But if there's ever a place where you need to get higher, hover pad, ayo! And as always, you can't forget the simple block the door with the pad. You know, this is known with the bounce pad, but the hover pad does the same thing. It doesn't prevent you from running through the door or sliding under it, but it can be momentarily like a barrier. Moving on to some like real gameplay, don't bother my bad shooting. The shockwave can actually knock over turrets. It obviously can throw enemies, but there you see me throw it right there at the end, and turret goes flying, and so it makes it easier. You don't have to shoot them, you don't have to avoid them as much. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Here's the next scene where I'm running, and I'm starting to panic, so I throw the box like crap. I gotta get over this wall. Well, I get trapped in this corner. I'm like, well, I can use this to bounce him away, but I was like, you know what? Let me use this gas. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh snap. And so something the shockwave's good for is escaping. In this scenario, I ran back and both my teammates were down. I saw this guy reviving, and now I'm potatoing. But he revives a teammate who had the dual wield swords, and they're coming right at me. So I use the shockwave, push him back, and continue shooting. Shockwave's super useful in scenarios like this. In this next clip, you see me reviving a teammate, but you can now move the enemy statues with the shockwave, which I always thought was cool. I wish you could pick them up and throw them, but that's not the case. Something else here you'll see as my friend uses a hover pad as shelter. Did he mean to do that? I'm not sure, but it worked, and he could shoot him right off. This next scene is just to demonstrate how much the shockwave can shoot you further and higher. Very useful, and it'd be worth using in scenarios. In this next clip, we're just pushing the cash out. It was later in the game. We already had a cash out, but it just demonstrates how the shockwave can prevent an enemy from pushing in. It can cover you guys from getting shot, and we ended up stalling him, making him jump twice. So it was pretty cool. Here is just an example of the hover pad as you can bounce, and you may not have a running start, but you can jump on there, and I could have jumped over to the roof. I think that's what I ended up doing. Oh, I used the shockwave. Okay, cool. But as you can see, the shockwave actually moved the hover pad, so it's not stationary. You can see little boosters on it. There's me using it to get across the map. What I didn't include was there's a bunch of scenes where I kept doing that and I kept dying. So you have to be super careful on those jump pads because they'll send you right off if you don't hit them right. Send you right off the map and you will die. Here I use the shock pad to shoot him out of the room. Different maps such as the one with the crane and like just ones that are higher up, and if you fall off the map. The shockwave would be super useful in moments like that. I remember this clip is so much fun because I'm getting shot, I use it, I run, I bounce, and I grab on the zip line. And I end up being able to run up this crane. Oh, this wasn't the crane I was talking about. But here's an instance of me just using the shockwave to be able to get away, and it's not like Fortnite where it has a grenade you shoot and someone just goes super high and super far really fast. But rather, it just gives you a little boost and it gives you that extra chance to get away. Lights have dash, heavies have shield and a lot of health, but now mediums have a little more movement, which is kind of cool. I ended up dying here at the end, but I thought it was awesome to just kind of include a little segment, me running away.
Why would you do that? Well, you can do like
This was the beautiful moment that me and Nate realized that you could... Yeah, I'll just let you watch.
You can bounce these.
Oh.
No, you have to throw it at the bounce.
Oh, you can hold it?
You can chart. What?
I had
no I'm a freaking wizard.
Dude. You're literally... yes, earlier I did introduce that you could hold it, but that's when we found out, so it's pretty fun. Here's another scenario, just using the shockwave to shoot someone off just the platform. But yeah, I was like, oh, here, let me goo up. I miss my goo. But the class I have right now is hoverboard, bounce pad, and goos, and I really like that combo. It really helps just provide cover, advantage. That's what I've been using so far with the new update. Here's a different thing I like doing with the hoverboard. Again, I was just trying it out in this video, but I wanted a higher advantage. People are not looking up just yet, and so you can definitely get the edge on some enemies, especially here in the new days of the hoverboard. Something really cool is I was testing out the goo, and yes, from earlier, you can do the goo bounce pad on top of it, but I was like, I wonder if the goo can go on it, and it did. I ended up dying here, but I sent him flying. Ayo. I wish I would have killed him, but he survived. Darn it. Can't get him all the time. Moving on to the next clip. So here I wanted to actually see if the turret got on there, and it could. Imagine the different angles you could put a turret, and people not just be expecting it to be in a random left corner somewhere.
Why'd you get that first?
You know, with this new season, I think we're wizards. Check it out.
I can't cancel it.
Whoa. Let's watch our contestants hustle, gather, and triumph in quick cash.
As Scotty said, it's time to dash cash and hopefully not crash.
Fireball!
If you're not having fun in games, what's the point in playing? Following up this clip, we ended up running towards the cash box, and it was still rather new to using just the new weapons and gear, but as I was making this way, I spotted a guy down here. I'm like, huh, hoverboard. It's pointing it out. It's like, oh, there's a guy here. Let me just use a useless bounce pad. But I shoot this guy, I ended up killing him. But there's another teammate coming. And just check out as I'm shooting him, he uses his cover, but guess what? Guess what? Shockwave, boom, out of cover, boom, killed him. Now this is probably one of the most useful ways to use it is to knock someone out from cover. To knock your enemy out of cover. Now this is not a good way to use a hoverboard, so don't take notes on that, but Nate, make fun of me. But let's replay that so you can hear it.
Just stay alive, stay alive. Well, revive me! It's not gonna work like that, dog. Yeah, what did I do?
If you've not figured out, I am Team Hoverboard. I mean, just look at this play. Yeah, no one's gonna be looking up. The only thing better here I could have done is maybe have a turret placed up there. But rather, I'm up here with my crossbow, and obviously, I hit all my shots. Like I never miss. I almost have aimbot. Yeah, it's okay to look away at this scene. But you know what? You can't always get all of them unless you chase them. So boom, boom, bop, got him. But what that gave me was just a higher advantage, and I just, especially on console players are more horizontal players. So we're left to right. As you move to PC, people using mouse and keyboard, they're easier to play vertical. But for a console player, this is just a superior place to be. Is above someone. Up and down gameplay is really hard. So if you're up, you're looking down. You know, you're like the guy from Star Wars. You have the high ground. You're able to shoot and kill somebody, and they may not even look up until they're dead. And so it gives you the advantage. Now, unfortunately, my poor teammates, I'm potatoing. I couldn't see the guy. I was like, oh, maybe I'll bounce him out. I just pushed him way further. But we ended up losing this little battle. I can't remember if we got the cash out, but regardless. It was just a cool position, and I look forward to finding more like it. Here I
On the
wanted to
hoverboard?
test what would happen
on
if the
my-
cash out fell on the hoverboard. Because could you move it and use
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the winch cloth just like to pull it everywhere, like in the sky? Turns out it breaks.
Oh, it
So
broke it.
sad,
You can't
but that
do
would have been super cool.
I love to hear.
Here's just another
Oh, shoot.
example of just using the shockwave. My teammates go down behind me,
Oh,
and
behind me.
shockwave pushes the guy to stall,
No,
and it kind of
you
throws him off, and I'm
flyover.
able to secure the kill. Ayo. You know, I was lying. This is the only way to use the hoverboard, and I refuse to acknowledge any other way to use it. So, enjoy.